How's it going? Birds! Okay, we're starting. Oh, sorry. Okay. We're live. Okay. Okay, guys, here we go. Regular.
One second. Oh, no, go back. Are you seriously all those stuff running on the computer? Wow.
My powerful Pentium.
Okay, yeah. Go to the
Wi-Fi. Show characters. WNY@01.
Okay.
Ready?
Really?
Yeah. Nice.
No, it's not showing me the
Okay, guys, ready?
Come on, you stress me out.
WNY.
No, go. You don't need access to the internet now.
You turn up the.
You don't-
you turn it up?
No, don't keep it on. Keep it on. Turn off lights. Let's get this thing going. Okay, ready?
Always.
Okay, so where's the plug? Let's plug this in. Let's
Are
try
you
for a
driving
second.
home today if it's okay for you?
I'm actually not leaving the office after.
Not leaving the office?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In here?
I guess so. Just leave it tonight.
Okay.
Okay. You guys see the screen?
Yeah. What is in the office?
Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna need to pick me up by what time you finish? 7 something?
7 o'clock. Yeah.
You finish like 7:05.
Okay. Okay, guys, let's go. We have a lot to do. Okay, you ready?
You ready?
Okay, so let's get back into the basics. Here we go. Let's open up a paint thing. We're gonna try our new paint thing out. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Okay, so let's recap. Right? Java is on many different devices, right? So you got Java.
No, you're not doing anything. Yeah.
Okay.
GVM.
Okay. How many?
What?
Billions.
Java.
Okay. Billions of devices. We're talking about everything from laptops, PCs, phones,
Remote control.
remotes. We're talking about, cell phones. We're talking about iPads. We're talking about, refrigerators, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Everywhere Java's on. Why? Like we mentioned yesterday, that on Java, we have what they call the JVM. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So JVM stands for what?
Virtual machine.
What does it stand for?
Java virtual machine.
Okay. Which basically is what?
Virtual machine. No.
Okay, so basically, the Java virtual machine is like imagine like a own teeny computer that's on another computer. Okay? So say you have this JVM, it can go right onto a cell phone. Right? It can go right onto a PC. It can go onto a server. Right? Okay? Right?
Okay.
The cool thing about Java, right? So we have Java over here. Say you write a file. Okay, so we have a file called, let's call it, we'll call it the dog and .java, right?
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
So you write the code, we then compile it, right? Because you can't run the code by itself like you have in Python. You have to actually compile it first, right?
Yeah.
Remember that, Regiv?
Yeah, it's checking for error.
Check for errors, and it converts it to what?
The BPs
Class.
What's it called?
Class
file? What did you say?
But what's that called? The class file is
No,
what?
it's called
Bytecode.
Bytecode.
Okay, like spell it like that. Okay?
And with this
Which
bytecode,
is-
you can put it everywhere.
Yeah, which converts to .class. Okay, so we call dog.class.
So I have a question.
Now this bytecode you can run on the JVM that's over here, at any of these devices. because that bytecode, that's the cool thing about Java, is that it compiles yet can run on many devices, which is very unique. Usually when you compile a programming language, it compiles to that single device you're on, and then you can't transport it to another machine.
I have
device.
a question.
Yeah.
It's different between the class on the method, like before the method, no?
Say it again?
You have the, not the statement, before. The class, the code, it's different, yeah?
You mean over here, this thing? The Java file?
When you say class, okay?
The dot class.
It's not the same like the, the class, like actual class.
Well, the reason why it is the same is because.
It's the same or not?
Well, I'll tell you why it's the same. Because in Java, and if I'm not mistaken, this the rule is there is one class, right?
It has to have one class.
Per file.
Yeah.
Right? Guess what? No more, no less. So really, when you have a dot class, dog.class, that is the class.
What does it mean no more? You can have no more
One-
than one?
A file in Java, a dot class file, any file right, that you're using in Java for your programs, each file is one class. That's it. So if you have a dog class that acts as a dog, you have to have another class that's called owners or humans that act as
So
humans.
another source.
Another file,
Another
yes.
program.
Another
Really?
source file. Yes.
Class. You can have method.
One more time? You can have millions of classes. Okay?
Yeah, but different source. Okay.
Source just means the source file. It just means each file
different
they have.
source.
Yeah.
You have class. You can
So
have
the right wording would be source file
So you can have two classes in
in one
two
file.
source.
You have to have. If you have two classes, it means you have two different files.
Yeah. So you can have two classes
In
one source.
That's right. One source file.
So
Okay? Comprendo, Mandy? Comprendo, Raghav? Okay.
The class, basically, the file is contained in the class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So actually, let's go right now and show a quick example. Okay. Okay. One more thing we should know before doing this stuff. Okay. Okay. See, this is, I learned this before we start. It's called UML diagrams. We're not doing it like 100% because the book does it in a simple fashion. But let's do a UML. What's UML diagrams? It's a way to diagram your system of how you want it to act without actually writing code, but it shows you the basic logic of your system.
what page are you?
About the basic logic of your system, how it's running.
Basically, what each object represents. I'll give you a quick example. Okay?
You are in the beginning.
It's so simple that it's the problem with computer science is they have all these stupid acronyms: UML, SQL, HTML. You know, there's so many, and some of them are just so simple, but they have to make these things that sound complicated. It's really not. Here we go. Say we have a dog. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So what's the rule? Ready?
What?
Why isn't this not working?
Sorry, teacher.
Okay. Dog is a class.
Yeah.
Right?
Dog is a class.
Okay. It's a
Dog
class.
is the beginning, yes.
Okay,
Wow,
so-
it's not the name of the application? No.
Application, you call it whatever you want. You call it the Microsoft Word. The point is a class. A class is
Yeah.
some part of the system, then how it acts, right? So and what what it contains and does. So remember, one cool thing over here you should notice is that classes in Java are always uppercase the first letter. Okay?
Java, the first word in Java?
In the class name.
So you do public class and then the name of the class.
Yeah.
You would
Okay? So now this is what UML diagram is like. You make the first little thing like this. Boom. Okay? That just has a little area of showing what the class name is. Then you want to write some of the things you can find out about this class. So say,
Better.
so these are the attributes, right? These are the variables. So let's call one, the size of the dog. Okay? Size. Right? Okay? And we could also do, weight. Okay, so these are these are our, they don't do anything. These are, like I asked Regev, how tall is Regev? Okay, his size is, whatever it is.
Your rifle.
Yeah, these are
Declare.
just attributes about a dog. Okay? And then under it, you'll put what the dog can do. Okay? So what can a dog do?
Oh,
A dog can bark.
No, this is the statement.
We're not making any code. We're have to learn UML because actually, when you start making programs for clients, you want to make a UML diagram first because it helps you sort out how your system works.
What is going to be inside weight and bar?
Okay, so the main thing is the dog. Now
Okay.
we're going to get the attributes of the dog, which is its size and its weight.
And bark what?
Right, and then under that we're going to put what the dog actually does, which it barks, it eats, it chases male people, you know,
Okay.
whatever it is.
Now note what this are. These things are parentheses, right? It looks ugly in the film here. Those are parentheses. Okay. So.
I think they look beautiful.
Okay, so regular Mendy, you got this. So basically, you have over here. This is where you put the class name. Okay. Over here, you put attributes of the class. In other words, something about it, but doesn't do anything.
I can never remember the name to give them in the book.
Yeah, don't bother the names. Well, the main thing is you understand what it is. These are not verbs, right? Comprende, Rakev?
I'm gonna check what it means this word.
Don't look it up. They're making a stupid thing. Attribute just means something about you. So Regev, an attribute of Regev is he has brown eyes. Attribute of Regev is he's 5'10". Attribute of Regev is he's good looking. You got that?
I got your
That's
sarcasm
attributes.
there,
Okay.
Attributes don't do anything. They are facts. That's the right word. Facts, right? Everyone with me?
Yeah, we do, but where you put it in?
Later on, don't worry.
Okay,
This is just the reason why we do these UML diagrams is so later on, when you have your system, you can create what each class in your system does even before you write the code. I know that I have a dog. I want to make it have a size attribute, a weight attribute. It needs to bark. It needs to eat. It needs to chase cats.
And the last one is what it needs, what it's doing.
Yes. So over here, we're going to learn different names to them later on in the book. Over here, then usually what these things are called methods. Methods just means things it does. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? The key word is does. It's a verb, right? It does something. Bark is not something about you, it's something you do.
Yeah.
Right? Now notice over here also how chase cat you always start the attributes and the methods, you start off with lowercase. You see that? And anytime you hit another word, you just make it capital. Okay?
That's what it is.
No, this is parentheses. No?
But the end is parentheses. Over here, chase cat, since it's two different words, you just put chase cat. In other words, if I show over here like this,
Yeah. Okay.
this one basically says chase cat. Okay?
Mhm.
That's how you do it. In other words, by the class, it's capital, initial capital. Over here, it's all lowercase until you hit a second word.
Okay.
Okay? Kaprenski? Everyone on the same page?
Yeah.
So inside the class, again.
Okay?
The class is public class is.
Okay? Another phrase you'll see about Java. Okay? You with me?
Tell me something. McDonald's drink there. It's kosher. Those smoothies and stuff. McDonald's smoothies.
I have no idea. Ask the wrong man. Ask a big rabbi.
It's not. They belong to God. Like.
Okay, so you ready? One more thing you got to know about Java.
Okay.
Okay? You'll find this phrase a lot. And that is,
He's hitting the mouse. He's shooting.
okay? You'll find this thing a lot, and just so you should know what it means. Write once, run anywhere. Okay? Right? Comprehend?
Poblensky?
Yeah? In other words, you write it once, you compile it, and now that compiled bytecode you can run on your handheld device, on a computer, anywhere. But you'll find, so you remember that phrase. Okay? So now let's see a little bit in action.
Right. Wow, so smart, you know?
Huh?
So smart.
Yeah.
These days, wow.
Okay, so we're going to do a test now. Ready?
What is it? Right once. Run anywhere.
Write once, run anywhere.
With Java, you run.
Write it once and you run it anywhere. That's how Java works. Okay, now. Okay, so now let's take an example. Okay. My first Java.
Basically, when you take my first Java, you need to do it or you don't need to do it. They're gonna tell you when to write stuff.
Write every single thing in the book. You have to get used to it. Okay, guys. Here's exercise number 1 that you have to do. Okay.
Like yes, but when you start to write from the beginning, like from stage 1, where
You'll see. It'll tell you special things to write down.
yeah, but here you know that where is the first one?
What?
Page, which page? Because they have it here. I'm not supposed to type this one.
Okay, so no, it starts at like chapter 2, I think. That starts teaching you like actual.
Okay, guys. We're making a one called the crap app.
What
Okay.
is doing?
Insert.
Measure the weight of the
part
crap.
sound.
One time.
Insert part sound.
Actually, we're gonna use Sublime Text. Okay, remember, use your Sublime Text, guys.
Now?
What? In general, I'm saying not right now, but in general, wanna.
We'll call it the crap app.
Okay,
Yeah,
so.
but tell me something. It's Sublime. Okay.
Okay, so here's our. If you notice, cool. Watch this. If you notice over here, guys, ready, Regev?
Okay.
Look over here, my file system. You see this dot class?
Yeah.
Notice how Sublime Text doesn't show it.
The Java.
It doesn't show the dot class one though. Why? Because dot class is compiled code, and Sublime Text is smart enough to know that you don't ever edit compiled code. Compiled code you create by running the compiler. Understand? Yes, Mendy?
Where you save it?
Wait, whoa. Sorry.
This dot class was created. We'll see soon how it created.
Oh, it was created only after you compiled it.
Right, but notice how Sublime Text doesn't show it under my list. Because they're
Oh.
smart enough to know that you don't edit. Sublime Text is an
Right,
editor,
right.
and they're smart enough to know that you're not editing.
You can edit that.
You could edit if you want, but you're going to break it.
Yeah, but you don't know how to edit.
Right. Like, look, if you open this dot
Yeah,
class,
gotcha.
look what it looks like. It's not human readable code.
Those visits mean like you're
Well,
under,
it technically
no-
could be, but it wouldn't be smart to do.
Yeah, you
Those
it's not very
those
useful.
V's that you see on your file, it's on the bazaar.
One more time.
Those V's. What is the V?
V.
No, those
This?
check. Yeah.
That me.
It's on the bazaar.
This is yes, it's under Bazaar probably, or it could be this is the symbol maybe for my
You learn more
my
about the bazaar.
yeah definitely use Bazaar. Okay, so we're gonna make a really simple class now. Let's just do a really simple one. You ready? This is a crap app, right? Okay, so this class is called crap app. Not the yeah.
I think it's a good name. I'm going to make it. I'm going to do something.
Why not C for crap?
What?
Why not C, man?
I mean C.
C for crap. System out print C equals.
Oh, C is crap?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I can download all those libraries.
Okay, and let's do.
So what do you think about the oral school? You're
Okay.
not gonna finish it?
Okay, guys, watch the screen. Okay. First, let's see if this thing runs. Okay.
Seriously, that's it.
Yeah, we do a simple thing. We're gonna start slow.
Okay.
So we have a little thing where we. Oh shoot.
What happened?
Java Pro.
No. Okay.
Right to
No,
the-
I did the wrong file. Give me a second, here, guys.
File and like have like. You know, if you want to learn Java from oral school, also to see what they give you there and learn more than you can say this one.
The book also teaches you very well. Though. I'm pretty.
Okay. So you guys watching it?
Crap app.
Okay. So here, guys. Here's the crap app. Greg, look closely, because this is really important. I know what you're doing, but you have to pay attention. This is really much important. All these things. Okay, so all we're saying over here is we have a class. This class is called crap app. Okay, don't worry about this yet, and we want to print out onto the screen, C is crap, got that. Okay? We'll discuss soon how it is. So first, let's go, we got to open the command line to compile this. Okay, we're in the command line, right? We'll discuss this later when you install your Java, how to get to there. Okay, let's go to where my thing is. So I have.
Where's the file? Where did you save it?
One second. It's on
So
my
you just
sheet
have
card.
to
Chapter 1. Yeah, it's under there. Okay, dir shows you what's in the folder. If you notice over here, all the files are there. Okay, so you see I have crap.java? I'm missing the class file for the crap app, right?
You need to compile.
Right, so how you compile? Java C. Java compile. C stands for compile. Okay? Oops. Do crap app. In fact, you can just do that tab, and it finishes it for you. Okay? Press tab. Okay? Run it. It's compiling now.
And now run it.
Now watch dir. You see that it added a file. You see this over here? This was added. Okay? The dot class was added. Okay? Now I can run that. How you run it? Java without the C. Okay? And now you don't do dot class. Just do crap app. Okay? Run it. And there you go. C is crap. Got that. Okay? This is what's in the code. C is crap. Got that. Okay? So we just basically did the 4 main parts of Java programming. Number 1, we created the source file. This is the source file. Number 2, we ran over here the Java compiler, right? Java, where's that? Java C crapapp.java, right? Got that?
Yes, sir.
The third step, we made sure, right, that we have the output, right? And everything compiled rightly, there was no errors, and we have the bytecode, which is dot class.
Okay, now if you want to compile it again,
Just run again, Java C, and do it.
like so if you
Good, but it would be
change, but
pointless.
If you change the source, you got to compile again.
look, if you're going right now to the document and you change,
Yes, you
into
gotta compile
CA,
again.
You compile it and change the same file.
Yeah, so if I go over here and I do
Yeah.
got that Mr., right?
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm going to have, watch, if I do Mr., watch this, look at this. I saved it. If I run,
There.
it's going to use the old one
Oh.
because it's using the dot class, which is the old compiled file. So I got to run.
Yeah.
I got to run the compiler again.
Yeah.
Now run it, and there you got it. Got that Mr. Okay? So 4 steps. Source file. Compile it. Make sure there's the bytecode that's good, no errors, and then run it.
You recording?
It's recording. Yeah. I sure hope so. Let's see. Maybe not.
No, it is recording.
What?
It is recording.
I don't know if it's recording right though.
Live. Stop broadcast. Don't stop the broadcast.
Let's start the broadcast, but I think it's got.
I think you should.
It's fine. I'm sure. I'm sure you can.
I'm going to download an easy software for you.
After YouTube button after you're done.
Yeah, I just really hope it's actually
I believe it
using.
doesn't have the recording thing. I think they're gonna do so much money.
You know, okay, go. You know, actually, go right now.
Do?
No, forget it. Leave it. It's fine. Okay, so here we go. Let's go back to my. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so we did the 4 main steps, or the 4 parts of it. Okay,
What's the 4 main steps again, sorry?
source file
Let me.
to write the source file. Number 2, compile it. Number
What are you
3.
thinking about, like the
File.
steps?
These are anytime you're going to be programming Java, you're going to have to make sure these parts. You're going to have to write the source file, which is this, right?
Yeah.
Save it, right? That's the key thing before you compile it. Then go ahead and compile it. That's going to what?
Right, save it.
That's number 1.
Okay.
Well, number 1 is write it and save it.
All right.
2, go ahead and compile it. 3, just make sure there's no errors when you compile it, and the bytecode is there, the bytecode file, which is .class, and then 4, run it.
Make sure. What is 3? What is
3 is just make sure that the .class file was generated and there was no errors in your when it was compiling. I'll right now on purpose show you what happens when the error is out, and you'll see how it won't work.
And 4.
4 is run it.
Run it.
Right. So now the cool thing is right now this file I have over here. See this .class? I can take that file, send it to Mendy, and he can run it on his JVM, his Java Virtual Machine, which is what happens when you run it. It's running in your virtual machine, and it'll run fine. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to. Let's show you a quick error to see what happens during that stage. Say I go over here, and by accident I put in this. Right? By accident I put in an extra curly brace.
What?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you see over here there's an extra one.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you know it's extra? Watch this. Look at this. In Sublime Text, if I go over here, you see how this is underlined? And this is underlined.
I tell you there's no match.
Yeah.
So this has a match,
Yeah.
but the first one does not have a match.
Yeah.
You see this first one? There's no match for it. But anyways, let's save it, and let's compile it. Watch what happens. It's not going to compile. So let's go over here again. Okay. Now look what happens. Boom, there's an error.
Oh, but you see how they give? Yeah, we need. Yeah.
Okay.
They're public point, but yeah.
It'll
Okay.
show you a bunch of different things,
But you need it. The wheel is going down. It's the left
They're
one.
repeating things. Watch this. If you want to see, watch this. Look over here. It says public over here. This method, which is over here, is starting off. Where does it say that? Illegal start of expression. In other words, it doesn't like there's an extra one there. Don't worry about that. Later on, we'll deal with how to debug stuff. The point is that it didn't compile. So now if I try to run it, look what happens. See? Oh, actually, it's still running it. It's running because it was compiled already. But if I would delete the old compiled file, it wouldn't run.
Yeah.
Okay? Because it actually wouldn't generate a new file. So let's fix that. And let's compile it again. Okay, let's run it. Boom, runs fine. Okay, got that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, let's so basically some things you just gotta know. Let's go back to here. Our paint thing. Okay, ready? When did Java come out? This is just some basic history so you understand like how much Java has improved. Okay? When did Java come out? What year? Take a guess.
19...
Not long time ago. Like a couple of years ago.
One time? What year?
1997. Agriculture.
What? I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you. Okay.
I have no idea either.
No, I'm gonna tell you. Java is started by 1990.
I really have no idea. So
I'll tell you now. Java, just Oracle or Java? Java. What do you say? What did you say? What did you say? 1997?
Mm-hmm.
1990.
What?
I said 1990. Java is 1995. Oh.
Okay, so watch this. Okay, so watch this. Look at this, guys. Ready? Ready, guys? I'm gonna show you something interesting.
Yeah, it's really new program language compared to other.
Okay, watch this. Okay, ready? Look at
It's
this.
improved so much. Since it's 90, when it just started, it was a very, very slow program.
Okay, we're going to take a quick look at the documentation. Don't right now. We're not gonna, later on. We're gonna have to download this to look at it. Okay, watch this. You see these classes?
Yeah.
This is when you have Java on your machine. This is actually the standard edition 7. Okay, this is actually what we're using. What we're using. So if you see over here, there's probably 5,000 classes that they give you off the bat to use.
Like with already code inside?
There's already code in there. So if you want to do things like connect to the internet, to run
This map
programs.
one. Go to the map.
Map over here.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a quick thing over here, like basic stuff about it. Okay? Don't try to read this now. You have to learn Java first to get understanding. But the point is, Java is I don't know. I'm not a maven in programming languages, but as far as I know, Java is one of the and perhaps the most rich programming language with regards to how much libraries there are. This is called a library. In other words, they give you a library of code already. So if you go to Java and you want to do something besides make your specific thing, but everything else about your app is there.
You just make your own thing and you can. Oh.
It's all there already. You want to make cool interfaces. You want to connect to this. You want to make chatting tools. You want to do maps, models. It's all there. The key thing is that you'll have to spend some time learning about the documentation. Okay, but that's one of the biggest power of Java. Okay. Okay. Move on. Okay. Let's go now to.
You want to stay here or you want to
I'm staying here How much longer are you gonna be here?
For a while, I wouldn't. He's got to run, yeah.
So if you want, I can drop it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go through some basics of the file. Guys ready?
Always.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to step this out so you can have a clear.
They didn't give you like a software with your pad to writing. They didn't give you like a special software with what you bought.
Did.
Huh?
You did.
So?
All the.
Yeah, I have to get. I just put it today, so I'll have to get a.
okay.
Yeah, there is some stuff. Okay, so watch this, guys. Ready? Give me a second. Maybe it's this one.
Remember what you know.
Okay, you guys ready?
Okay, what are you doing? Yeah, you know what? The only thing also the important, we need to
Okay,
know how
here we go.
to present stuff. Like if you want to go talk with like CEO, you need to know how to present what
Yeah,
you want to do.
yeah.
You need to learn that.
It's actually not. It's not going to come out.
What were we planning to do?
Let's do this. Okay, so this was the file I made before, right? Let's look at some basic stuff. Okay, so if we have my thing here, okay. So if you notice, there's 3 parts to a class over here, a basic class, right? If you remember, we did before we had the dog and it barks and it has certain things. Okay. So number 1 was we have the class name, right? This over there. Oops, I'm on the wrong thing. Let's use this actually. This is nice and thin.
This is gonna fail.
Okay, so you notice over here we have the class name, okay? That's the class name, okay? And this parentheses goes all the way to the end, okay? That's the first thing of a class,
Yeah.
okay?
Inside the class.
Inside that, from here,
Yeah.
you see this one goes all the way to this one, right?
Yeah.
That all is the method, one of the methods in the class. Okay, now what's special about this method? Like Mendy said, it's the main method. Okay,
But you don't have to use you have to use main.
we'll discuss in a second. What does main do? Okay, main. Oops,
I know.
what?
It's to let the computer tell when to start tell to Java when to start.
Where to start. Yeah, exactly. This is the method that Java uses to start it. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
To launch your app. Okay? Cool? Okay, so let's erase all that.
Control Z, my friend.
Yeah, let's do that. Much better. Okay. Okay, so we got that. Still with me, everybody? Okay, so. Okay, so you have the class. One per file. One per file, no less, no more. Underneath, you have methods. It can be a million methods.
But okay. Okay.
This method main is just what launches your application. In other words, in Java, when I run over here.
But you can have more than one method. Yeah.
More than one what?
Method.
Method. You can have a million.
Oh, okay.
And out of that,
There can only be one main.
one main. Per class. Now watch this. Here's a key thing you have to remember. There's, for your whole application, right, you can have a million classes in your app, and we'll see later on how this crap app class can look at your dog class, which can look at your human class, which can look at that class, and all your classes keep working. For your application is what you have built for your client as a whole. All it needs is one main method. Okay, this is very important. For your application to work, you need one main method.
And what's the one method doing?
Just the class. When your application launches,
okay.
that class that launches has to have a main method. That's it.
The
All other
class.
classes don't need one.
Yeah. And it starts till the hand. Till the hand of the.
Yeah. So your thing will run from here to here. Now that can take a million years.
Yeah.
Because in here it can call another class and call another class and run that and run this and do a method and etc. Right? But the point is that the class that you launch when you hit Java, say you're on your Android phone, right, and you press on your application, that class that's launching has to have a main method in that one. Now your other classes could have or could have not. It's up to you. Okay, but the one that launched it has to have it. Okay.
Complex.
What is this called over here? These two lines. What are each of these lines called?
In the end of the line, you have to put this thing. I don't know.
Okay, but not necessarily in the line. At the end of the keyword statement. Okay, this one and this one are statements. Okay, each statement needs a colon by the end. Okay, in other words, that's how you tell Java this statement is over. Because statement doesn't have to be one line. A statement can be 10 lines long. We have complicated statement. Statement just means do something. Over here, this statement is printing out something to the screen. Okay, but statements can be longer and shorter, etc. In Java, there's no rule over here that has to be on one line. The point is that you tell Java that the statement's over by putting a colon. Okay, everyone still there? Gotta make sure you guys are.
Lower this page.
One more time.
What? Oh yeah. I really have to do that. No, you don't have to reinstall it. The computer works fine. You just have to get an external hard drive cut off. Including files on there.
Yeah. Okay, so one last thing now. Let's do all the smaller stuff. Public over here. What does public mean?
Public means it's a public.
Right. We'll see later on the exact nuances and exactly how this works. But public basically means anyone can run it.
Can you change it to a different?
There's private. There's other settings too. We'll go into later on.
You can do just class crap at it. But
yeah, there's different settings, and you'll see later on we want to make things secure that only the code that's running it can run it. So there's different. Later on we'll go to different things, but public means anyone can run it. Okay.
Stuff you can do with Java.
What time?
Billion stuff you can do with Java.
Yeah, and the key thing to remember is don't try to swallow it all. It's much better to be good at a small amount of stuff than be shallow in a million stuff. Okay, I know working in the workforce that I'm a perfect example. I don't know that much about programming. I really don't. But the stuff I learned well. SQL, I learned well. Database stuff, I learned well. And thank God, with Hashem's help, that has given me a career. Instead of, I know guys who know Java, they know C++, C#, this and that, but they know it so shallow that they can't really work for an enterprise.
So this is what I wanted to know: Java, SQL.
So even in Java, when you're doing Java, better to even know a small part of it. Okay, you know how to make a certain type of GUI apps, and you know it well. Don't try to. Java is huge. You can learn it literally for 100 years and never get to the end. There's that much stuff that people have written for it.
Can you write operating systems in Java or not?
It's up to you. I mean, it's essentially a language, so you can write anything with it.
No, I know, but it's kind of hard to do that because you don't really have a JVM right when you're starting off your computer.
I hear you. I hear you. It's not going to be. I mean, essentially, the JVM is in a certain type of. It's a mini operating system, sort of. But
so you would have to have it like Facebook Home. You have to build it on top of a.
Something like that. I mean, I don't know the details, but in general. When people are making operating systems, they'll usually write using lower languages like C. Java is really not meant for that. It's really meant for applications.
What inside the application?
Yeah. C is that one. C is an old language, but it's powerful and it's bare bones. It's on the hardware. You know what I mean? It's right there. Don't want to learn C, Mandy.
What?
You don't want to learn C.
I want to do operating systems. That's the difference.
Then don't learn Java, man. It's going to make you confused. You just go learn C. C is the area it's when you're writing in C, you're writing for like.
What about C++?
Like writing
C++. I don't know. I don't like C++ just because it's in two different worlds. I can't decide which world it's in. It's not C. It's not that low, and it's not that high like it's Java. It's like in between. It doesn't make sense to me.
Listen, you want to make money?
Yeah, but money-wise, Java will get you a lot more money. I mean, at least Of course, you see,
it doesn't hurt to know more.
See, that's where I disagree. It doesn't hurt no more if you really know it. But I know many guys who try to learn everything and they get nowhere.
Oh no, I'm not trying to learn everything. I'm just trying to learn maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if
Java,
you really have.
C++ and maybe Python or C.
Yeah, I'm saying. So if you learn those well, I think this is what I read on from some people, and I think it's true. To really master a language takes 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. To master a language takes 5 years. To learn it, you can learn it in a week.
Yeah.
But to master it, what does master mean? Master means you actually spend time with it. And if you think in it. So a person says, I want this to be done, you know how to think in Java how to do it. To do that takes 5 years. So if you think, people think they can.
You have 5 year experience in Java?
It doesn't mean you can't make money before then. It just
No,
means
you
that.
have a 5 year experience for
No, I don't have a Java. I have a very shallow knowledge of Java. I'm learning
you?
basic.
So how can you teach us? You teach us, but it's okay for programming?
He
What
says
is it?
shallow because he's very modest.
No, I'm not. I've done stuff in Java, but very basic. I'm
What
honest.
is better? Okay, well, we keep it or we stop?
No, continue. Let me one last
Okay,
thing.
we slide.
What time is it now?
Six.
Okay, let's go. One last thing over here. So what does static over here mean? Okay, static we actually learn later. That's a little more complicated. Okay, but keep this in mind. We're going to learn what static means, and you can change this to void. Void means nothing is you're not giving anything back. In other words,
Like, yeah, this is what I want.
what does this mean? So say, let's give without looking up in code, we're going to do pseudocode. Pseudocode means it's not real code, but it's idea of code. Say you have a thing that says, a function, a method that's called, let's say, we'll call it give me, give me burger. Okay?
Mhm.
So, give me burger should return what?
Burger.
It should give back, in other words, return a burger.
Yeah.
Right? So if I have an application that's I have a thing that's called, a plate, and I call from the plate, I say, give me burger. After that, my plate should have a burger, right? Because it returned a burger. Over here, I'm running it, and it's not giving anything back to me. Void means don't give anything back.
Okay.
Later on, we'll see that you can actually give something back. I can give back, say
But you give back the credit.
No, that's just printing it out to the screen.
What does it mean you need to back?
What?
What does it mean you need to give back?
Over here, I'm not giving anything back. You'll see later on that you can give something back to whoever's calling you. For example, give me a burger. We'll give a burger back to whoever's calling me. So if
Like
say
you call to someone, he give you, if you text a message.
anything. Say you have a burger's it's gonna get you confused. It's physical. Say you have one that says
You wait for something. You send.
it's giving something back.
Wait
Over
for
here,
something
nothing
to
is.
come back.
If I were to call this method, nothing will be give back to the code that's calling it. The screen gets output, but whatever called doesn't get anything back. It just does something. In other words, in SQL, it would be a procedure versus a function. Procedure does something. Remember this? It does something for you, but a function gives something back.
Like the what's it called game, the battleship game that it teaches you later on.
Yeah.
So if you enter in a number and then it returns in if you hit or miss. The
Yeah.
battle.
Well, later on we'll imagine you have. Let's go over here for a second. I bet there's a quick one we can look on over there.
You know to get rid of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back over here. Okay, so we got that. Void means it doesn't return anything. Later on, we'll see we could return things. It'll come clear later on.
Okay.
Okay, just imagine over here that if I call give me burger, it'll give a burger. But if I have a method that's called bake burger, right? Not necessarily does it give anything back. It'll bake it. It doesn't give it to you, right? It'll go, you need a bake burger, and it turns on the oven. What does it give back to me? Nothing. Later on, you say, give me a burger. It'll take the burger off the plate and give it to you. Okay? So not all methods return something. Void means don't return anything. Main, right? This is the one that Java looks for when you call it. Make sure it's main. Make sure it's all spelled like this.
The beginning is main.
You can put it anywhere in your
You
code.
don't put a space in between.
But if you put it in a different class,
What?
it's gonna
Yeah.
skip.
Well, I think it should work both ways. What?
If you're gonna put it the main in a different class,
Well, then you have to.
different public study, it's gonna start from
Well,
different.
don't forget, when we call the code, look how we call the code. You see over here, when we call it, we're calling crap app. That is the crap app.class that has this main. If there's no main in there, it won't run.
Yeah, but if you're gonna put it in
It'll
other
fail.
method
One time,
and then other method, not in the first method,
a different method, then
it's gonna skip it.
it won't even work.
So it has to put main.
If you're calling this, it has to run. Method is any. I mean, we'll later on. There's no order.
I got you, but the book said like you don't have to use main, so if I'm not using main.
I'll tell you why it says that, because you don't have to call it the first one. I can make another class called humans that this will use. I can have over here that it says, give me humans to run and let the humans run this way, and it uses humans, but I'm starting off with the crap app. So as long as I start off this main, that's all that needs to be there.
Okay.
Okay? In other words, over here, Java crap, I'm starting off. That's how my application starts. Okay?
Okay.
Let's see if it's stop for there for now. Yeah, let's just stop for there for now.
Okay.
Okay, let me see anything else on here that we can go through. That's fine. We'll discuss the list later on.
Tomorrow in another class. Tomorrow we have class. Go 5 minutes before. Tell me. Yesterday I almost ran to you.
One second. Let me turn this off.
You know, yesterday I was next near the
Yeah,
house. Under the
I
house.
saw you. I
Right.
saw you driving away.
Like, what?
Okay, 1 second. Oh, that's why.
You
Okay.
make me lazy. You made me lazy.
Where's my live event?
Sorry.
Okay, this is weird. I can't find my.
Sorry, you have a nice face.
Okay,